welcome to Wine Uncorked with Tower. My name is Gil Coolers. I'm a wine consultant at Tower Beer, Wine, and Spirits here in Atlanta, Georgia. And today we're going to continue to talk about the history of cork. I'm going to start this segment out with a story. The year was 2000 here in Atlanta, and there was a fairly famous fish restaurant in the city who received their shipment of one of their most popular wines. It was a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, and it came under a screw cap. The wine director at the time sent that shipment back because the thought was that there is no quality wine that could possibly be under a screw cap. I believe his mind has been changed since then, but the reason that situation developed was, as we were talking about in the last segment, is that while 400 years ago corks were a revolutionary device that was transformative for the wine industry, it does come with a little baggage in that inside some of these corks there is a compound called trichloroanisole, or TCA, which taints the wine with a smell reminiscent of damp newspapers or perhaps a moldy basement. And there was really no recourse for consumers or winemakers at that point. Well, the winemakers in New Zealand had had enough at that point, and as a group they decided that all their New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, which at the time was a big thing in the wine world, would only come under screw caps. So if you wanted a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc in the year 2000, you had to have it under a screw cap. And this was very liberating for a lot of winemakers, not just in New Zealand, but around the world. In fact, in the year 2007, Plumpjack, a rather well-regarded Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon maker, put half of its production under a screw cap as well. And we're talking a $100 bottle of Napa Cabernet Sauvignon. This was, in a way, a very good thing for the cork industry because they took a hard look at themselves on how the cork was harvested, how it was processed once it got to the factory, but perhaps most importantly, they really became good at detecting TCA once it got in the factory during the manufacturing process. Some of the other ways that closure manufacturers addressed this problem is they started making synthetic or plastic corks, and here is a plastic cork from Bully Hill Vineyards in upstate New York. This is at least a 20-year-old cork, and this was not the best solution because the plastics were interacting with the acids in the wine, and they were really making off flavors and off aromas. In fact, we have a cork right here. This is called a composite cork, and it is a cork where they grind up the cork and they're able to guarantee that 100% of these corks have zero cork taint, and that is rather a good improvement over 1 in 6 bottles. And I see opportunities for all these closure manufacturers going forward. I believe the romance of pulling a cork out of a bottle while you're dining in a restaurant, I don't see that going away anytime soon. But I do know a lot of folks really do enjoy the ease of not having to fumble around for a corkscrew, and they can just merely use a screw cap when they're having a picnic and they have a nice cool rosé, and all they have to do is crack open that rosé and enjoy it on the picnic blanket. Thanks for watching. Thanks for shopping at Tower.